You're watching Fighting Back, news talk, current events, and political commentary with host Ron Ludders. Now back to the show.
Well, welcome back. And we've got, I got a little bit of news here. One, before we go into this, I wanted to thank you all. We're not only here in Phoenix, but we're around the world. And we have numbers since June 7th, Ray. We have had 3,242,907 views of our programs on Hub Radio.
But who's really counting?
That is amazing. And one of the people that we have that is watching is online. It's Roger Landry of the Dallas Cowboys. No, not the Dallas Cowboys. He is with TLBtalk.com.
Stands for Truth, Liberty, and Balance.
Right. Welcome to the show, Roger.
Hello. How are you?
Well, we're doing fine. We're sitting here in 113 degrees outside in our shirt sleeves.
It's hot.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Look, I'm one of those people who has lived as far south as Hawaii and also Key West.
Ooh, we have a breaking news story.
North.
Hold on. We have a breaking news story, Roger. Just a moment. Josh, you want to tell us that breaking news?
Well, I could. It was going to be a joke, but I will say this: it's not a joke. It's sick. I thought this was, something from The Onion, but it's not.
This is horrible.
A girl who was touched by creepy Joe Biden on camera confirms that he groped her and pinched her nipples when she was 8 years old. You may have seen the video of a more cognitively aware Dementia Joe back in the day, and there was an 8-year-old girl. It turns out it was the niece of Senator Steve Daniels. And he's touching her shoulder, he's touching her head.
Smelling her hair.
Yeah, and he sneaks his hand down to her breasts. An 8-year-old child. And if we know Tara Reid and all the other women that have come forward of sexual abuse and everything else, well, Circle Back Around today was asked about it. And apparently she wanted to circle back around because she was upset, and she said, oh, that doesn't matter with what we're talking about right now. Then she turns around and blames the craziness at the border on President Trump.
Now,
Unbelievable.
There were some Democrats who left the state of Texas, went to Washington, D.C., and now they're missing. Two are missing.
Yes, it's believed that they are in Portugal on vacation. So I don't see how you can serve your constituents on a beach.
So they're not really missing, unless they're missing on purpose.
They're missing on purpose. Okay.
Well, back to Roger when some of that story broke, and I find it rather strange that the president, the Pino president in name only, is in fact once again being questioned about his proclivity for little children, and now we have Governor Cuomo. And he's got at least 11 women that are saying he has groped them, and of course he refuses to resign.
Well, it brings up the Bible verse, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." He is telling the governor of New York, I think he should resign because there's so many people coming forward. Does that mean that he believes that he also should resign because so many people are coming forward?
It's true. Roger, we got you on the line. We've got a couple more stories here, I think, from Josh. But what I'd like to ask you to do is we'll invite you in as Josh finishes up one or two of his stories. And please feel free to comment.
Okay. So as we talked about the three amigos, the great patriots in the Arizona Senate, Sonny Borelli, Wendy Rogers, and Kelly Townsend. So let's talk about the last one. Let's talk about Kelly Townsend. She understands what's at stake here. She is a patriot, she is a fighter, and she is getting to the bottom financially of what took place in 2020. She has actually called not for a forensic audit as far as ballots and tabulation machines and all that other stuff, but actually the money trail. Show us the money. She has called for the Arizona Auditor General to do an investigation into the $3 million of Zuckerbucks that were spent in Arizona that helped get us to the position that we are in right now. And so Arizona Revised Statutes 41-1279.04 provides the Auditor General the authority to examine any and all financial records in the 2020 election. So this is amazing news. This is great news. These are some of the questions that Kelly is wanting answers to. Private monies and grant monies received and spent by the Secretary of State's office, and what organizations or individuals supplied them. How were these grants used to educate voters, especially early ballot voters? What amounts of these grants were spent on get out the vote activities, hiring of election workers, and how much was used to purchase equipment, and from where was that equipment purchased? Details on recruitment and hiring practices of the Secretary of State's office. What was the criteria for selection of these workers, and where were these workers hired from? So this is a huge development as we have the Arizona forensic audit of the ballots and the machines and all the things that we're doing. We now have another audit that's going to be taking place on the almighty.
And this, I believe,
dollar.
is the Auditor General of
Correct.
Arizona. And
Lindsay
I
Perry.
have been a part of that audit. I belonged to the Auditor General. Roger, are you there? Roger?
Hello.
Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. Are you getting this story out by you? You're 2 hours difference from us. Have you heard this story as breaking news?
No, and actually, I've been working on several other things, so I've been kind of buried in things since midday.
my point exactly. No, you haven't heard it because the mainstream media isn't talking about it. But I thought perhaps you might have heard a little bit of a rumor, but no, the mainstream media is not covering these events.
No.
And these are huge when the Auditor General gets involved, because that means that there's a possibility there's some criminal activity.
Now, Ron, tell us a little bit, because you're an auditor as well. So the Auditor General, is this an elected office? Is it selected by who?
No.
Is it a group? Is it an organization?
It's very interesting, because when people think of the government and the bureaucracy, they think everything belongs to the executive branch. This is not the case in the Auditor General. The Auditor General reports directly to the legislature. They're the one that make the selection. The governor can make the announcement, this is who I would like, and it's an advice and consent thing. And it can be very powerful. This is a very powerful position. It's not used very often, Ray.
So
it should be in this case.
They're selected by the state legislature.
Yes, and they report to the state legislature. And, of course, who's the state legislature? We have the two leaders, one in the House, Rusty Bowers, and then we have Karen Fann, President of the Senate. They report to these people. They're not reporting to the Senate and the legislature as a whole, but rather through these people as the leadership. Yes.
Yeah. So, Roger, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. So, tlbtalk.com. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
All right. Look, I've sat here and listened to some really, really good news coming out of you guys. And I have listened to it with the understanding that this type of news, the type of news that Josh does, the type of news that you guys report, I don't know, if we strayed into the realm of maybe even vaccines and things like that, all right? Basically, what everybody is talking about here are things that are critical for each and every one of us. But if we take this football and we run it on social media, gee, Josh, what happened? Okay.
Yeah, we know exactly what would happen.
I've made my point, all right? What is TLB Talk? TLB Talk is a place to go and talk, all right? A place to go and learn. These are the two key words that you need to take away. It's a brand new social media platform that we launched on the 4th of July. And no, we didn't have 9 million people waiting at the front door the day we did it, simply because we didn't want it to crash like Mike Lindell's did. What we are doing is we're taking in a metered amount of people, a consistently increasing number every day, improving this platform as we go. But the point is, you guys do such a great job of putting the news out. You really do. Okay? But if you want to do this in a social media platform, big tech is literally going to shut you down.
Exactly.
There are 35,000 people on the TLV Facebook page. 35,000. We get maybe 10, 15 likes on something over the course of a day. We used to have 20,000 people seeing something over the course of a day. Now we're lucky if 15 or 20 see the same thing. It's not because our news is any less there. It's because our visibility is less there. What is TLV Talk? It's a place for you to go where you can discuss the things you know, but just as important, to learn the things they don't want you to learn. I want to say one more thing, and then I'm going to shut up for a second. Listen to me, because this is the honest to God truth. What you have seen, either from the press secretaries or the assistant press secretary or from Nancy Pelosi or from Congress, is them screaming at big tech to shut you and me up.
Yeah.
Listen to what I just said. Mm-hmm. Our elected leaders are telling big tech to censor us. The people we elected to serve us are telling big tech to censor us. Has there ever been a bigger need for a platform that's going to allow you to say what you want to say? Why can we do that? For only one reason. We have no corporate money. Zero corporate dollars. You drop $5 in the bucket on your way in the door, we're going to give you a platform you can talk on. You can't commit illegal acts. If it's illegal outside, it has to be illegal inside.
Sure.
But I got to tell you something. There's a whole lot of different ways to say everything you want to say, and you have a First Amendment right to do it.
Exactly. Now, we've found several different, the Convo Couch, the Wimkin, and we've got the other one, the Digital Warriors. They're all small, but they're growing, and they're growing fast.
Yes.
Because Americans are really, really, dare I say, pissed off, and we ought to be. And if you're not pissed off, folks, you better get pissed off, because you're going to lose this great country and all the liberties that you have had and that millions and millions of people have fought for, including our guest. He was in the United States Navy, and thank you for your service, Roger.
Yes, thank you.
So, Roger,
I spent 30 years. I spent 30 years, and this is why I'm doing penance today. 30 years either in the nuclear submarine fleet or working for Raytheon as a defense contractor doing strictly DoD contracts, traveling across the planet 80% of every year for 30 years. Do I understand what's happening? Do I understand how this government works? It was beat into me for 30 years, and today, and for the past 10 years since I launched TLV, today I do my penance.
Right. So give us an idea. You go on the website, and then do you sign up for an account? Do you subscribe?
Yes.
Tell us how it works.
Yeah, you go, basically you go to TLV Talk. If you don't have an account, it's tlvtalk.com. If you don't have an account, you fill out. The only thing we ask you to do is verify your email. That's it. You sign up. You put an email down just like on any other account. They send you a code. You verify the code. You're in. End of story.
Yeah,
and that's just to protect you as much as anything else. We do not data mine. End of story. We don't do it. We don't sell anything. Nothing. Zero. There is zero corporate money going in, zero corporate money going out. But everybody needs to understand, and so far it's been happening real nice. If you don't want to drop $5 in the bucket, 6 months from now we may be out of here. What we are seeing, though, from the general public is what they would like to have is a piece of the rock. What they would like to have is the knowledge in their own mind they did a little bit coming in the door. And what we are already doing is expanding the platform because of those $5 or $10. We even had one person drop $400 in the bucket on the way in.
Nice.
We are already expanding this platform. Now, look, there wasn't 10 million people standing outside the door when we launched. We didn't tell anybody we were going to launch. We don't have $1 million like the Pillow Man does to tell the world what we're going to do. We launched on July 4th, and we started taking people in.
What a great day to start this.
Yeah.
on the July 4th.
Exactly
what a great
right.
day.
So from the time that they sign in, they can just start uploading information, downloading information, sharing information.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
It's
They
a
can
clean
start a
looking
group.
site too. It's a really nice, clean looking
They can start
site.
a group. They can start a page. If anybody's on it, do me a favor. In the upper left-hand corner, there is a black logo. It is a lion, TLB Talk with a lion head. Put
Yep.
your mouse over that.
I found that out. I
Now,
put
can-
my mouse over it.
Now, can we stream directly onto that platform, Ron?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I will tell you, probably by the beginning of the new year, not only will you be able to do that, but let me tell you, what you're looking at is the funding mechanism for the rest of the suite. What is the rest of the suite? We're going to give you not only a Facebook replacement, we're going to give you a YouTube replacement, we're going to give you a Twitter replacement. Oh, yeah. This is all going to be, you will sign into one local panel, and from there you can go on any one of those apps you wish to go on. And by the way, Talk already has a Google app and both of the apps are there, the Android app too. But we're going to give you the complete suite. You will not have to go to YouTube and be banned. You will not have to go to Twitter and be twitted. You won't have to go to Facebook and be given a 30-day vacation.
And be phased.
All of these functions will be right there.
Yeah, just
amazing.
2 days ago, I had one of those little. I've been banned from YouTube and all that, but I had a YouTube channel. See, I can't even get on YouTube. I actually have to open up an incognito window because they've blocked my my IP address, my phone, and my home. So if I ever want to even go on YouTube, I have to use an incognito window. Well, I have started, one or two little YouTube channels, not really to put content on, but just as an ant trail back to the website, because my home base is all on the website. Well, I put a video up that had to deal with election integrity, and not only did they take it down, but they took down the channel, and then they sent me an email saying that my content is a danger to the community. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And we got that too. We've had a couple of, especially when we have Mr. Barton on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And,
talking about COVID.
We always joke about that when we have him on. We always seem to get gigged.
Hey, I've known Josh for quite a while. I know Josh can be dangerous. You want to know why? Because I only hang around with people I like and I can relate to.
There you go.
So, yeah.
I'm sitting kind of.
You were
I'm sitting
mentioning-
kind of close to him. I didn't realize he was a dangerous guy.
Roger, you were mentioning the pillow guy, Mike Lindell. He did, I think his Frank speech crashed a few times because so many people wanted to be on there.
Yes.
But he is coming up with a cyber symposium. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something else about this guy, okay? You guys have all talked about a little bit of tyranny here. Let me plug something in because, again, Roger has written over 2,400 articles and done massive amounts of research over the last 12 years. This is my penance, okay? This guy has a video recording of damn near every single voting machine on voting night showing the actual tallies, whether they're going up, going down, being switched over. Not only that, but an IP address for every outside source that connected to every voting machine in this country. He has this all on video. Why doesn't the whole world know about this?
Right.
Now, who has this?
This is Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell has this?
So the cyber
He
symposium.
actually has a video out showing it.
Well,
Yeah.
I've seen some of his videos,
And
yes.
also there's the story from Code Monkey that was on the Gateway Pundit where they said that this is just 1% of what they have, and they showed video that showed that they were logged in to the internet during the election.
Yeah,
So
there's
no
a lot of
question it
theories of why we are now months and months away from the actual election, months away from January 6th, and why didn't they put this out sooner? I'm sure there's a lot of theories about why, but the CCP comes up quite a few times when it comes down to why hasn't things been released.
Yes.
Well, Roger, we may have a little
but-
breaking news here for you. We broke this last week, although it's not necessarily new. But there's a guy named Sellers, Jack Sellers, and he's the chairman, well, we're going to take a break here, but he's the chairman of the Board of Supervisors of Maricopa County, and we have some news here that he actually took a trip to China with the number
Multiple
2
trips.
CCP guy, and the thing about it is here he was over there, and we're trying to figure out why would a Maricopa County member of the Board of Supervisors be, and this was paid for by the Confucius Institute, which is a known CCP organization. The United States Senate has done some work with them, and they've been on the school campuses here, and even Arizona State University has thrown them off.
Neil, do we still have that photo? Yeah.
Hey,
So
why would California buy $100 million worth of Chinese masks and pay for them and never ever receive the masks?
Well, there we are.
You want to know how many other states did that?
On the screen, Roger, we have the chairman of the board of the Maricopa County.
Shanghai Jack.
Shanghai Jack. His name is on the screen behind here, and this was March 14th, 2019. Jack Sellers. And this guy here is supposedly one of the head muckety-mucks of the CCP that he's shaking hands with. We want to know why he was there. We've not had an explanation as to why he was there. And
I can give you.
Now, it says something
some
about
input on
friendship.
yeah, friendship.
We want to be friends.
And Ray, do you realize that a few months later that the Board of Supervisors then accepted Dominion equipment, which we already know was also a $400,000 or $1 million infusion into Dominion was made by the CCP.
And did they verify that the CCP actually bought a lot of Dominion as the company
They
back
did.
in October?
It was a
20
front company. It was a front company.
Right.
But I can tell you why Jack Sellers, or Shanghai Jack, and what a great name, Sellers, huh? For someone that's selling
Sells
out America, Sellers.
He's a sellout.
So he's a pro-China, open borders, globalist, Trump hater. Okay, and we know that the CCP obviously hated President Trump. I mean, he stopped them from currency manipulation. He stopped them from the trade imbalances. He stopped them from doing so many other things that they were doing.
Well, from
and of
taking
course,
advantage of
yeah,
the
of
United
course.
States.
Yeah, and they rewarded
intellectual
us
property
with the
and-
Kung Flu. But
Hey, can I throw something in here because you guys are doing such a sterling job? Let me throw in here Hunter Biden's laptop, and let me explain to you real quick why I am. That laptop alone is a reason why Joe Biden didn't even qualify to become president. The amount of pressure that the Chinese can put on both Joe Biden himself, and the U.S. intelligence services such as the FBI and the CIA, the pressure they can put on Biden absolutely makes him unsuited to ever sit in the presidential office.
Vulnerable.
That was also brought up prior to the election, but nobody listened. He wasn't qualified to be elected president.
I think Tucker Carlson was probably one of the few people that covered that story.
Isn't it interesting that Hillary Clinton?
I heard about that. Yeah.
Hillary Clinton was also compromised from her email. So you had two Democrat nominees completely compromised by our enemies that were running for president. And again, one of them being under investigation, and there should have been two, obviously. But Sellers has been to China multiple times, not just that one time, as a matter of fact. And Sellers is also a member of the International Leadership Council for GPEC. What is GPEC? GPEC is the Greater Phoenix Economic Council. Now, the Greater
Formerly
Phoenix,
the Phoenix 40.
Right, and on its surface, it doesn't sound like a bad organization. I mean, you've got a lot of big companies that support it and fund it, from APS, SRP, the Phoenix Suns, the Coyotes, the Cardinals, major mainstream players here in the Phoenix business world here. But it does have a sinister side. And GPEC in and of itself has appointed Sellers, who's a board of director member, as their point person on cultivating relationships, foreign investments, ingenuity, and technology to bring that information, those jobs, that technology into the valley, and in particular, Maricopa County. So if you know that that's the case, he's been with the CCP. We just showed you images and pictures of the vice president of their Commerce Committee shaking his hand, but he's also been the point person, as I said, for GPEC, and it gets worse than that. Have you ever heard of the Sisters Cities program? He's the vice president of the Sisters City program. And what that is basically you have a city in the United States of America. It doesn't have to be in Arizona. It can be anywhere. And then they have a sister city in another country, whether it be Germany or Denmark or Australia or whatever it may be. Well, here in Arizona, over 50% of all the sister cities are in China. Scottsdale, Haikou, China. Gilbert, Leshan, China. Tempe, Xinjiang, China. Mesa, Kaiping, China. And Phoenix, Chengdu, China. So if you look at the investors, the foreign investors, and everything that he has, you have to ask yourself this question. Why is someone that's in charge of Maricopa County's elections traveling to China, and what did he promise the Chinese and the communists there to come back here and fight so damn hard for election integrity?
And then why
what
did
exactly
Wait,
is he
Josh,
hiding?
Josh, you hit another home run, okay? But what you got to do is take it just a little bit beyond that. This is happening all across the United States. They are the biggest landowners outside of someone like Bill Gates, okay?
Right.
That's a whole different story.
Farmer Gates.
There are people who are under their influence in so many universities, the government is threatening to go in and clean them out. The influence to CCP and the Chinese Communist Party has in the United States at this point in time would have been considered treason 10, 20 years ago.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now, one of the things,
You're right.
one of the things, Roger, that was a real bummer for us was we're going to have to take a break here. But was the simple fact that the entire state of Texas had rejected the Dominion offers and equipment. And in Arizona, only one county, Maricopa County, selected Dominion. And in all of the state, the only problems that we have are pretty much Maricopa County with Dominion equipment.
Although we
And
should
where's
have
the
other
population?
counties.
Maricopa County.
And
Yeah,
we know that
60%.
Georgia, the entire state of Georgia, used Dominion equipment.
Yeah.
Listen, we got to take a quick break here. Where you're watching Hub Radio Phoenix, Fighting Back. Don't go away. We have Roger Landry on the phone, and of course our correspondent Josh Bernstein here in the studio, and Ray Makels and I are telling you, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Yes.